class, we've been talking about intervals. And in the theory classes today, we were doing scales. And before we can really we have to understand intervals and scales together. So when we're talking about intervals in the key of C, it's very easy. Because what's the key signature for C? Everybody.
0 flat 0
0 sharp, 0 flats, right? So if I want a major second, it's D. If I want a major third, it's E. If I want a perfect fourth, it's F. If I want a perfect fifth, it's G. If I want a major sixth, it's A. If I want a major seventh, it's B. If I want an octave, it's C. Right? You don't even have to think. You can just draw your scale. But that's the thing, you're drawing the scale. So, what if I'm in the key of E? Now I have to know my E scale. So I better draw an E scale first. So I need, Kira, can you hand me one of the little ones? Yeah. Thank you. So we have our handy dandy keyboard. If I'm starting on E and I need a whole step, what do I have? Everybody.
F sharp.
F sharp. Gotta skip the white key and go to the black key. And then I need a whole step from F sharp. Where do I go?
G sharp.
G sharp. Black key to a black key, skip the white key. Now I need a half step from G sharp.
A sharp.
That would be a whole step. I'd be skipping A. I only need a half step. Shivani, can you come sit up here so I can see you, please?
A sharp.
What?
A sharp.
D sharp. D sharp is over here. We gotta stick with our alphabet. We're on E, F, G sharp, A. Just a half step, right? To the white key. Now I need a whole step from A. Giovanni?
B.
Mm-hmm. I need a whole step from B. Myra?
C sharp.
C sharp. Gotta skip that white key. Now I need a whole step from C sharp. Kira? D sharp. Go to the black key, from the black key, and skip the white key. That's a lot of sharps, people. Now I need a half step from D sharp. Everybody.
E.
E. Right. So that means if I want a major second in the key of E, what do I have to remember?
F sharp.
The F sharp. If I want a major third in the key of E, everybody,
G sharp.
G sharp.
G sharp. If I want a perfect fourth in the key of E, everybody, A. If I want a perfect fifth in the key of E,
B.
B.
if I want a major sixth in the key of E,
C sharp.
I gotta remember that sharp. If I want a major seventh,
D sharp.
D sharp. And then if I want an octave,
E.
right. So it's easy when you have the scale in front of you and you're going in order. But I'll go up. What if we go out of order? So now, tell me a perfect fourth from E. Not Myra. Somebody tell me a perfect fourth from E. Exactly. 1, 2, 3, 4. Somebody tell me the major second from E. Kira? F sharp. Somebody tell me the perfect fifth from E. Surya?
B.
B. Giovanni, what is the major seventh from E? Put your hand down, I asked Giovanni. That would be an octave. Major seventh from E. Where do you see a flat? Huh? B sharp? Okay, so B is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 notes from E. Catherine, can you help? What's a major seventh from E?
D sharp.
Yes, E sharp. Okay, Mabel, what's a major third from E? Look up here and count. 1, 2, 3. So E, F sharp,
G sharp.
G sharp. And Alana, what's a major sixth from E?
C sharp.
And April, what's a perfect octave from E?
I know.
But I asked April. What's a perfect octave from E? Myra, can you help her? E. An octave and a perfect octave is the same thing, right? Okay, so you had to think. So when you're counting, where is note number 1? What is note number 1 when you're counting for intervals? Catherine?
The note that they give you.
The note that you start from. So in this case, E is number 1, right, Shivani? It doesn't start counting with the next note. E is number 1. So then it's just 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Are you stretching or did you have a question?
No, I'm switching.
Okay.
There.
So now let's do E flat. So I need, here's my E flat. I need a whole step from E flat. Giovanni? F. A whole step from F. Alana?
G.
A half step from G. April?
Set from G.
Did I call on April? That's a whole step. Here's G on my white key. What's a half step from G? D sharp. D sharp is way over here. We started on D sharp, but we called it E flat. What comes after G in the alphabet, first of all? All right, so your answer has to be some kind of A. What's a half step from G? Look at the keyboard. A sharp is all the way over there. That's 1.5 steps. Giovanni, can you help her? A flat. Why isn't it G sharp?
Because you don't mix flats and sharps.
We don't mix flats and sharps, and Myra?
We already have a G.
We already have a G. Okay, so now we're on A flat. We need a whole step, Kira. Huh? We're on A flat. We need a whole step. B flat. We're on a black key, so we go to the black key. We're on B flat, and we need a whole step, Myra.
C.
We skip the white key, B, and we get to C. Catherine, we need a whole step from C.
E.
I think you skipped a letter. Say your alphabet. What comes after C?
D.
D. Mabel, we need a half step from D. Look at your keyboard. Here's your D. What's a half step from D?
E.
E's a whole step. So how do we get to that note? What do we call it? E sharp is higher than E. So what else could we call it? Yes, E flat. Surya, I need, oh no I don't, I'm done. Okay, so how many, Listen, how many different flats do we have? Anybody who gives me the wrong answer owes me an extra hour of practice this week. Myra, you are not allowed to answer. How many different flats do we have? Maybe. Two. Catherine wants to practice extra.
5.
Giovanni also wants to practice extra. Anybody else brave enough to tell me the answer? How many different flats do we have in this scale?
4.
Oh, April wants to practice an extra hour. Boy, you guys are going to be great on the concert, all this extra practicing. Surya? 1. Surya also wants to practice an extra hour this week. Pierre, you going to throw your hat in the ring? 7 different flats in the E flat scale. You need to have your eyes checked.
7.
The copycat. It was almost funny once. Okay, Kira and Myra can say the answer together after I count down from 3. How many different flats in the E flat major scale?
3.
You said yours after Myra. Yes, 3, because the E flat and the E flat are the same.
Quick question.
Yeah, what?
Equal.
Trick question.
It was not a trick question. I clarified by saying different. If I'd said how many flats do we have, then it would be a trick question. But I said how many different flats, right? So when I write my key signature, I have my B flat, my E flat, and my A flat. You understand?
Yes.
More or less? Okay. So, let me just turn these handy dandy E's into E flats. Giovanni, perfect fourth.
A.
The answer is on the whiteboard.
A flat.
Thank you. Okay, Catherine, a major second. Mabel, a perfect fifth. Z? Now we're just playing alphabet soup. Can you count, please? 1,
2, 3,
4,
5.
5. What note is that?
E.
We're starting on E. E, F, G, A,
B.
B what?
Flat.
B flat. April, a major seventh.
Major 7. D.
Alana, a major third.
E.
We're starting on E. How can E be 3 notes away from E? We're starting on E flat, same letter, right? G. Myra, major sixth.
C.
And Kira, a perfect octave. E flat. Okay? So now, you understand that the intervals, so when you get intervals in your first reading book in piano, they only talk about the general numbers. 2, 3, 4, 5, the distances. But what we're talking about is the quality that we have in the major scale. So the quality for a fourth is, everybody,
Perfect.
perfect. Everybody say perfect.
Perfect.
The quality for a second is
Major.
The quality for a fifth is
Perfect.
The quality for a seventh is
Major.
The quality for a third is
Major.
The quality for a sixth is
Major.
and the quality for an eighth is
Perfect.
perfect. That all changes when we're not talking about major scales, or if you're writing a song and you want it to be more interesting, right? If you're writing a song and you want to add a little darkness, you can reduce any of these intervals by half a step. And then suddenly you have a diminished fourth, or a minor second, or a minor seventh, and that changes the mood of your piece. But there are rules about how we do it. So composition kids, don't start going nuts in your mind thinking about all the diminished intervals you're gonna write today. Because you're not. But you can start thinking about it. All right, everybody up? Myra, can you push the button?